Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. If you would like to support me or the channel in any way, you can do so by liking this video and subbing to the channel. Let's talk bodybuilding. About 2 or 3 videos ago, I did a video on my opinion of the top 5 backs from the 2021 Mr. Olympia in the open class. And I figured I also wanted to do the best quads from the 2021 Mr. Olympia in the open class. And these 4 gentlemen that you see in front of you, these are all of the honorable mentions because it was actually pretty close for that 5th place spot. Now, William Bonac probably would have been 5th, but he has the best quads out of these 4, I believe, but they just aren't big enough. Hunter Labrada also has amazing quads, but he just wasn't that condition. Iain Valliere also has amazing quads, but Iain hasn't seemed to have a good connection with flexing his quads since the Texas Pro. If you guys look back at the Texas Pro, Iain had amazing connection and his quads were separated from top to bottom. And even though Iain brought great conditioning later in the season, he just didn't seem to have that same level of separation from Texas. And Hassan Mustafa, of course, who probably has the biggest quads on stage next to Big Ramy, just never comes in condition. But all of these guys are amazing athletes. And with the 5th best quads from the 2021 Mr. Olympia, I honestly had Akeem Williams. And like I said, guys, William Bonac or Hunter Labrada would have been 5th, but Hunter just didn't have this level of separation. And William Bonac had the separation and the cross striations, but he just didn't have the size. And Akeem is an amazing athlete, man. And of course, with us talking about nothing but quads, I'm going to add a little more in just for context. Akeem placed, I believe, 8th at the 2021 Mr. Olympia. Akeem's lower body is always conditioned, but for some reason his upper body and his back just never comes in. But he's working with the coach, I heard, when he plays top 6, so he should be a lot better this year. And with the 4th best quads at the 2021 Mr. Olympia, Mohamed Shaaban. I mean, this could be a little arguable because his quads weren't too separated here, but I still had him ahead of Akeem just because his quads are huge and have that freak factor. And you guys know after this, he went on to the KO Squad Egypt Pro where he placed 2nd to Regan Grimes. He was actually pretty upset about that placing. But he was a lot more conditioned there. And maybe his quads from there looked a lot better. And once he got to finals, his quads completely faded and had no separation. But Mohamed Shaaban definitely had some freaky quads. And the 3rd best quads at the Mr. Olympia was Nickwalker. And Nickwalker honestly could have been 2nd, but once I show you the 2nd place guy, his legs just seem a lot more shredded and makes Nick's legs almost look soft. And I'm not sure if you guys can tell here, but Nick's right leg still looks to be downsized and maybe a little bit, very so slightly. And I only can tell because, as Nick stated in his video about his year, that he injured his right leg before the New York Pro, which was the reason he was working on the machines that you guys may have seen Dexter Jackson use later in his career, where they use like wires and they put the wires on their leg and stuff to use less weight but still stimulate the muscle. But Nick with the 3rd best quads at the 2021 Mr. Olympia. And the 2nd best quads, honestly, Nickwalker could have been 2nd, but I just like Hadi's cuts more. Hadi Trooping has amazing quads. Overall, the most conditioned athlete in the IFBB as a whole. And I just like the deep cuts. I like the cross striations. And Nickwalker would definitely get there over time, but he just needs a little more muscle maturity. Hadi doesn't have the biggest quads on stage, but definitely has some of the best. And Hadi came in a lot more conditioned this year than usual. If Hadi would have brought his usual, more full package, his midsection wouldn't have been as tight, but his quads definitely would have been bigger. And with the best quads at the 2021 Mr. Olympia, I mean, you guys pretty much knew this. This guy may have the best quads of all time. I'm not 100% sure, but Big Ramy More. Look at the quads, guys. Look at the size. It's just, honestly, just ridiculous. And this is the package that Big Ramy brought to the finals. This wasn't the package from the prejudging. He looked a little off at prejudging, as we all kind of seen, and some people thought he might be losing the title to Brandon Curry, but he was up after prejudging on Brandon Curry by 1 point still. And overall, man, Ramy is just too freaky. And if Ramy continues to bring the conditioning, he's going to hold that Mr. Olympia title, honestly, until old age catches up with him, or I hope he doesn't, unfortunately, have an injury or something. But let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel about this top 5 list, man. I don't expect it to be as objective as the top 5 backs because maybe a little controversy between Nick and Hadi, maybe. And maybe someone put Hunter or maybe Bonac. People probably would like Hunter in 5th instead of Akeem, but Hunter just didn't have the separation and didn't have enough conditioning in his quads for me. But I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And once again, if you would like to see any other body parts, please comment in the comment section below. Like, comment, and sub. I'm out.